My wife brought her lover to family dinner. What I did next traumatized everyone forever. Hello, everyone. Dear listeners, please share your thoughts in the comments section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Now, let's begin the video. Using a throwaway for obvious reasons, with certain specifics modified to preserve anonymity. My wife brought her lover to a family dinner, and what I did afterward forever traumatized everyone. I'm sitting in my home office, bourbon glass in hand, finally ready to share this story. It's been 3 months since I completely wrecked my life and then started building it back from the ashes. Maybe you'll judge me for what I did, but honestly, I don't care. My name's Mike. I'm 34 years old, working as a senior cybersecurity analyst at one of the biggest banks in the U.S. I bring home around $250, $0 a year. Not bragging, just giving you some context for what's coming. I was married to Lisa for 7 years. She's 32, used to be an HR director at a manufacturing firm, making roughly $180K, but that's the past now. Lisa and I met back in college. I was finishing up my master's in computer science, and she was in her last year of business administration. She was stunning, ambitious, determined. Her looks drew me, but her intelligence hooked me even more. We dated for 3 years, tied the knot, and bought a house in the suburbs. I thought we'd built something solid that would last. The first sign something was wrong appeared in March. Lisa suddenly took a real interest in Pilates. Now, working out wasn't unusual for her. She always took care of herself. But this was different. She started going from 3 times a week to 5, bought gym gear from those overpriced places in the mall, and began talking about how her core strength and flexibility were improving. Then I noticed her phone behavior shift. We'd always been transparent, left each other passcodes, had no secrets. But suddenly her iPhone got a fingerprint lock, and she'd angle the screen away when messaging, make calls in the bathroom. When I asked about it, she just shrugged it off. Just work stuff, she said. You know how HR stuff can be hush-hush, right? Well, the lingerie should have been my warning sign. I found a small box of lace under her clothes worth about 15 baht hidden in her dresser. When had she bought it? Why hadn't I seen her wear it? But what really raised my suspicion was a trip she took, an urgent conference in Phuket. She never traveled solo for work before. HR directors don't usually need to, but suddenly she had to attend this critical leadership summit. She packed enough clothes for a fashion show, including that lingerie. I'm not an idiot, but I'm not the type to snoop through her phone or spy on her. At least I wasn't before. But as a cybersecurity guy, I know how to dig when I need to. The receipt was crumpled in her car's door pocket at the rooftop bar at the hotel. 2 cocktails, 2 dinners, totaling about 800 baht. The date on it. The very night she claimed to be at a department birthday party in the city. That's when I called my old friend, Detective Sam, a former cop turned private investigator. He came highly recommended and was used to handling corporate espionage cases. I gave him her exact schedule and a photo. How far do you want me to go? He asked. I told him I want everything: photos, videos, audio, whatever you can get. I need to know who, where, when, and how often. He quoted 50 baht, but I paid him double, 100. I wanted his best work. Within 2 weeks, my entire world shattered. Sai called me one Tuesday while I was reviewing security logs. My personal phone buzzed and I answered. His voice was cold, professional. Mr. Mike, I have the information you asked for. I think we should meet face to face. I left work early, told my team I had a doctor's appointment, and met Sai at the same coffee shop near Victory Monument. He handed me a tablet, and as I scrolled through the first photo, I felt like a knife had stabbed me. There was Lisa with some guy at a rooftop restaurant inn, holding hands across the table. The next photo showed them kissing in the elevator and then entering a hotel room, all in quality footage from CCTV. The guy's name was Chambers, CFO of her company. Married, 2 kids, another one on the way. And those photos kept coming: him in his BMW, in a karaoke room, at various hotels. Metadata proved this had been going on for at least 4 months. So I carefully added, there's video too. They went to a short-time hotel near yesterday. I watched it all my wife 7 years with another man moaning, calling him daddy, begging for more. I didn't cry. I didn't rage. I just sat silently, committing every detail to memory, letting the truth sink in. Then I transferred another 50 baht to Sai's account. Keep watching them, I said. I need more. Sai looked at me funny. More. Mr. Mike, I believe you have enough to go to the police. I shook my head. Not yet. I want everything, every meeting, every message, every hotel receipt. He nodded slowly. How long until I stop? I asked. That night I looked her straight in the eyes and did what I never thought I'd do, think about that footage, the moans, the images. She had no idea. She kissed me goodnight, told me she loved me. I almost laughed. The next 2 weeks were pure torture. I went to work, came home, had dinner with my wife, who was secretly cheating on me, then watched TV, then went to bed. Everything was normal on the surface, but Sai kept feeding me evidence. I learned their routines. Tuesdays and Thursdays were for Pilates. She'd go to the gym first and then meet after. Probably thought her social media check-ins served as an alibi. Saturdays, she'd go shopping with her sister, Molly, who hadn't visited Bangkok in 6 months. Using my hacking skills, I dug deeper. I broke into her line messages, read her chats from months back. The pet names, the photos they shared, the promises of a future together, all made me sick. Then I found out about the Phuket trip. Her so-called conference was a 3-day escape at a resort in Kamala Beach. They even took photos together on the sand. She sent a picture in a bikini with the caption, "Can't wait till we do this openly," like I was just an obstacle to their happiness. 2 weeks into the surveillance, Lisa made a fatal mistake. She suggested hosting an anniversary dinner. 7 years, she said over breakfast, smiling and fake adoring. Let's celebrate properly, invite both families, show them how perfect we are. I nearly choked on my coffee. The audacity. I told her, great idea, and kissed her cheek. I had 3 weeks to plan everything. 2 weeks later, some friends asked if I was okay, how I was holding up. Honestly, I'd never been more focused. Every day I went to work, handled complex security issues, then came home and refined my plan. First, I upgraded our home security. Told her I was worried about break-ins, installed cameras in every room, high-def, night vision, motion sensors, and encrypted all footage on a secure server. It took a week. The first night she brought into the house, while I was away at a work conference, I got alerted nearly immediately. I pulled out my phone to check the feed. There they were in my bed in my own house. Rage surged through me. I went straight to the hotel gym and pounded a punching bag for an hour, but I didn't go home. I saved every second of that video just in case. Sai had struck gold too, turns out, wasn't just messing around with my wife. He had a whole roster. Sai found photos of him with 2 other women from work, hotel records from the past 2 years, evidence of a serious pattern. Was running a side hustle. Personal harem. His wife, Suki, 35, was pregnant with their 3rd kid and didn't know a thing. I decided she needed to know, just not yet. Not when I was ready. Lisa's obsession with the anniversary dinner consumed her. She threw herself into the preparations, catering from some fancy restaurant, flowers, a photographer, even bought a new dress for 20 baht at Central Embassy. I played my part, helped with the guest list, suggested inviting some of her since they meant so much to her. She looked nervous but masked it. She kept saying how our families needed to see how well we were doing, while she continued her affair behind my back. I went along, suggested inviting Fraser, her boss, and his wife, thinking it would look innocent enough. She hesitated briefly but agreed. The fool thought I was clueless, but I knew. That week I contacted my divorce lawyer, the best in Bangkok. I showed him everything, photos, chat logs, receipts. He whistled when he saw the extent. "This is solid," he said. "You can keep the house, the cars, most assets. She'll be destroyed." But I wanted much more. "I want to ruin her completely," I said. "I want total annihilation." We spent hours strategizing, Thailand's divorce laws, protecting assets, damaging her reputation. A week before the dinner, I put together my masterpiece, 20 minutes of edited videos, hotel footage, security camera recordings, chat screenshots, travel photos, arranged chronologically to tell the story. I burned copies onto USB drives for her parents and other key family members, watermarked with dates and times, irrefutable proof. My younger brother noticed something was off during our weekly football game. "What's going on? You're different lately." I brushed him off, saying work stress, but he saw the tension. 3 days before the dinner I confirmed would be there, told me with barely concealed anxiety. He was bringing his wife, Suki, too, as she was pregnant. We made sure she'd be comfortable sitting somewhere quiet. That night, she initiated intimacy, her first in weeks. Maybe guilt, maybe just doing her job to keep me complacent. I went through the motions, knowing this was probably the last time, made it memorable. The night before the event, I couldn't sleep, not from nerves, but from anticipation. Everything was set. Evidence, videos cued, the lawyer on standby. Lisa slept peacefully beside me, murmuring in her sleep. I watched her, feeling nothing but emptiness. Tomorrow her world would end, and I would be the one to do it. Saturday arrived perfect, sunny, clear. Lisa was buzzing with nervous energy, running around, directing the caterers, fussing with flowers. I helped set up tables in our garden, stringing lights, playing the supportive husband. "You're amazing," she said, quickly kissing me between tasks. "Thanks for supporting me." Support? Yeah, I was, but I knew what this was really about. Guests arrived at 5 p.m., my parents from her family, from her parents, sister Molly, the bunch of friends and relatives, 33 people in all. Fraser and his wife showed up at 5:45, parking their fancy BMW. Fraser looked nervous, adjusting his collar repeatedly. His wife, Suki, was glowing, a bump visible beneath her elegant dress. Lisa greeted them at the door with her usual perfect politeness, though her eyes told a different story. She introduced Fraser as her mentor, shook his hand with a smile so practiced it was almost fake. I met him straight in the eye. "Nice to finally meet you," I said coldly. She did a good job sounding polite but distant. Dinner started at 6:30, a traditional Thai feast. I'd ordered her favorite dishes, her last special meal. I sat at the head of the table, Lisa to my right. Fraser and Suki sat across where they could watch the TV. My parents sat on my left, hers on her side. Everyone relaxed, joking, toasting. Her father raised his beer, voice booming, to many more years. Everyone clinked glasses. I smiled, raised my whiskey, and made a toast. "To truth and honesty," I proclaimed. Lisa squeezed my hand, but I saw her tremble just slightly. The conversation flowed, work stories, family gossip, future plans. I played perfect host, filling glasses, making sure everyone was comfortable. Suki complimented our home. I bragged about my new security system, state of the art, records in crystal clarity. "Can't be too careful these days," I said. That made Lisa laugh, a little too strained. By 8 p.m. the meal was winding down and it was time for speeches. As tradition, I tapped my glass and stood. "Everyone, I'd like to say a few words," I began. 7 years ago, I married the woman I thought I'd spend my life with. Lisa was everything I wanted, beautiful, smart, driven. I believed we were building something special. I looked straight at her, eyes wet with fake emotion. If only she knew what I know now. My voice hardened slightly. Marriage is built on trust, love, fidelity, honor. When that trust breaks, everything collapses. The room was silent, the weight of my words hanging in the air. I pulled out my phone and activated the big screen behind me. "Tonight, I want to tell you all a story about betrayal, broken trust, and consequences." I pressed play. First image, her chat with where he's telling her what he wants to do to her. Her reply thrilled. Instantly, the family gasped. Then the photos, them holding hands at restaurants, kissing in the elevator, slipping into a hotel room, clear proof. "Stop, please," Lisa begged, rushing toward my phone, but I stepped back. I played the next video, hotel security footage of them entering a room. The timestamp was explicit. She was at Pilates that Tuesday afternoon, yet here they were. Her screams filled the room. "Turn it off." But then came the audio, her moaning, calling his name. The footage of our bed with her in our wedding portrait, clear evidence. She went on. Knees trying to grab my phone. I kept streaming, her calling him daddy, begging for more, skin slapping, moans echoing from our own bedroom. Her face, her shame, all laid bare. Her parents' reactions, her father with his face purple with rage, her mother screaming. Fraser looked furious, stepping toward me, yelling, "You sick?" I just laughed. Head back loud and clear in my own house. That's what you're worried about. I sneered. The video kept playing her pleas, her attempts to hide, all meaningless. Turn it off, her father roared. I finally stopped it. Silence enveloped the room, a silence so thick it was deafening. I took a breath and calmly said, "There's more." I pulled out thick envelopes, evidence, spreading them like party favors. To her dad, I gave photos and chat logs from her phone. To her mom, receipts, hotel records. I approached Suki, clutching her belly, and handed her a special envelope. "This is for you. Your husband's not who you think he is." Inside, more than her affair with Lisa, proof of other relationships, hotel stays over 2 years. Suki started crying quietly. Lost it. He lunged at me, but my brother threw him against the wall. "Touch my brother, I swear I'll end you," I said coldly. Meanwhile, Lisa was on her knees, begging, pleading for some semblance of innocence. I pulled out my phone again, showing chats where she talked about divorcing me after her next promotion. She looked pale. Her father approached, probably about to hit him, then spat at his shoes. "How dare you come into my house?" he shouted. Fraser retreated, pulling Suki with him. She jerked away and snapped, "Don't touch me," her voice a furious hiss. Then she slapped Fraser hard. The slap echoed across the garden. My mother had been silent until now. She walked over and looked down at Lisa, her face filled with disgust. "I treated you like my own daughter," she said softly. "Get out of my son's house." And with that, everyone left, Lisa's family first, with her crying, mascara running, trying to look back. Stormed to his car, her father dragging her along. She kept staring at me, words caught in her throat. Within 20 minutes, only my family remained. The caterers vanished. The chaos was too much to handle. I poured another glass of whiskey and sat in the empty garden, staring at the chaos I'd unleashed. My father finally broke the silence. "How long did you know?" he asked. "6 weeks," I admitted. "And you waited," he pressed. I told him I just needed them to see she was going to lose everything, just like I was about to. His nod was slow. "What now?" "Now I say, now I take everything left, assets, properties, everything I can get my hands on." 1 week later, the fallout hit hard. Lisa tried to come back that night. Her keys didn't work. I changed the locks while everyone was crying in the garden. She called 47 times, left frantic voicemails, apologetic, angry, desperate. I ignored all of them. My lawyer filed for divorce Monday morning. The evidence package was ironclad. In Thailand, adultery is a clear fault for divorce. With all I had, she wouldn't get a single baht. But I wasn't finished. I sent all the evidence to her company's board, CEO, HR, everyone, with a letter exposing her affair and misconduct. By Wednesday, she was suspended while an investigation took place. Tried to show up at my office, but security tossed him out. Suki already left him, filed for divorce, and moved back with her family. She took everything: house, cars, custody of the kids. She's now living in some rundown apartment, and her family won't speak to her. The criminal charges against her have stuck: embezzlement, abuse of company resources, cover-ups. They lost their jobs with cause, no severance, no recommendations, no benefits. I watched it all just for my peace. Final note: 3 months later, I'm sitting here with the same bourbon. My divorce is final and I got everything: house, cars, investments, everything. Lisa got nothing. She tried to fight, but the judge laughed her out of court. Now she's working at some tiny recruiting agency, making about 40 baht a month, living in a crummy studio above a convenience store. Her family still avoids her. The shame haunts her everywhere. Ruined, lost his job, his reputation, even his freedom, facing jail for embezzlement. Suki had their adorable baby girl. He'll be paying child support on 4 kids now, on whatever work he can find. But here's the truth about revenge: you think it'll make you feel better. It doesn't. It just leaves you empty. I've started therapy, working through my trust issues. My brother recommended Dr. Lisa. We talk about rebuilding, moving on. It's slow, but it helps. I've started dating again, cautiously. Nothing serious yet. I can't trust that easily anymore. But I'm trying. Some folks might say I went too far, that I should just divorced quietly and moved on. Maybe. But dignity doesn't pay the bills when your ex cheats, takes half your assets, and laughs about it. Dignity doesn't stop them from living in your house, taunting you from inside while they're with someone else. I'm not proud of everything I did, but I don't regret it either. They made their choices and I made mine. Now I live with the consequences. The house is quiet now. Sometimes I think about selling it. Too many memories. But then I remember I won. This is my house, my life, my future. She took 7 years from me and I took everything from her. Fair trade. And now some of you asked, yes, I still keep in touch with Suki. Not exactly friends, but we check in once in a while. She's doing all right, all things considered. Strong woman. Her family helped her through. Their baby girl is beautiful and healthy. Fraser has seen her once, just a supervised visit at the courthouse. And before anyone asks, no, nothing happened between us. She's been through enough. Some lines you just don't cross, even in revenge. And to the guy who called me a pathetic loser pretending to be alpha, my bank account, house, and the fact that I'm now single with my ring finger empty, that's all the proof you need. Thanks for the chuckle, though. This will be the last update. I've told my story and I've judged my own actions. It's time to move on. To everyone out there who's been betrayed, stay strong. To those who think I'm a monster, I sleep just fine. And to anyone out there thinking of cheating, your partner isn't as stupid as you think. The truth will come out and sometimes you'll lose everything. Be smart about it. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. If you like this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.